Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Marshall here, hailing from London town in 1862, hence the accent. I don't know, I've been watching a little bit of Ripper Street lately. What are you gonna do about it? In this game, it's a 1 versus 1. We have Hera in blue. You may know Hera from, well, streaming and other Age of Empires games. Pretty big name, is putting it lightly. Going straight into wood as the Franks, with leaving only 3 on food and very heavy wood, because we are playing on, I believe this is Archipelago, either that or Warring Islands. One or t'other, where there's a lot of water between the bases, funnily enough. And in the middle you've got 2 islands, each has a sacred site on it, and there's a trading post. Trading coastal post there. Meanwhile on the north we've got GiveUAnxiety in red. Also, the Franks. Also, heavy wood, very little food. Reason? Again, if you haven't figured it out yet, you need to build docks and then boats. And funnily enough, this is the pre-Steam Age, pre-industrial era. We aren't building iron or steel hull ships. We're using wood. And of course in Age of Empires, you don't just want to be building one dock, you're going to want more than one. And so getting lots of wood is going to be important. And then you're going to be building out fishing ships out of that. And then eventually moving into hulks, galleasses, and eventually moving up to carracks as warships. Hulks, I hear, are very strong Frankish arrow ships. Attack ships, if you will. I must admit, I'm not fully clued up on the naval counter system. I'm still trying to learn it myself. So if you have any tips and tricks on that, please comment them down below. And I recommend having a look in the comments in case anyone has given that information. What I understand is that arrow ships wreck demo ships, because the demo ships have to get close, but the arrow ships have the DPS. Whereas then the demo ships destroy attack ships and warships because of their high damage. Oh, sure. Do they do bonus damage to those ships? I don't think they do. And then, of course, warships and attack ships can just outrange regular arrow ships. That's what I understand of it. But sometimes these things are called attack ships, sometimes warships. So, please help me, chat. Please help me, comments. I need it. Now, there's also something to note in terms of Age of Empires. You've got 2 types of fish. You've got shore fish, which deplete and, well, basically they get over-farmed, whatever you do. And they go away, they exhaust. Whereas deep sea fish come back slowly over time, which is stuff away from the shoreline. So you can fish these a lot, and then eventually they will start ticking back up again over time. Let's have a look at what Hera's doing, though, in his terms of his vills. So we've gone for 6 food, 9 wood, 6 gold, looking to go up into Age 2 here. Chamber of Commerce. Of course, as the Frankish players, typically in my previous casts, we've seen people go for the School of Cavalry, which gets you the Royal Knights. But there's, you know, Royal Knights aren't exactly amphibious, so there's no need for that. You may as well go for the Commerce Economic Landmark. All traders and trade ships return more resources from any market or dock. So if you can get trade ships safely to the center here, well, you're gonna get a lot of bonus dosh. GiveUAnxiety a little bit behind, so let's compare the vills. Hera 513.6, GiveUAnxiety 985. with 4 building that Chamber of Commerce. Meanwhile, looks like Hera is just building it with a single. That's where that Vil count disparity comes in. Second dock coming out for GiveUAnxiety, and for Hera likewise. Of course, the more docks you have, the more you can build faster, particularly in terms of those hulks. I do hear that hulks are particularly potent at the moment. So I suspect in terms of this Frank Mirror matchup, we're just going to have hulks, 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 hulks. You got to be careful of the fishing ships though. You kind of want to keep them alive. You don't want hulks coming in and absolutely wrecking face. But in terms of your base economy, you know, you've got sheep that you can use. You've got a hunt on your island. Got some deer over here. But why would you do that when you can just rush straight into the water with docks and get the ships out and then use the pre-existing docks to then start building hulks and whatnot? Hence, no mills and all of that jazz. If players do build mills, it'll be for the economic upgrades alone, most likely. Rather than anything else. Age 2 now for Hera. Welcome to Feudal, sir. Going more onto gold now as well, because these hulks, pretty expensive, 240 gold. From against airships, low maneuverability. And we've already got 2 of them being built from Hera. Now notice that in docks you get a bunch of naval upgrades as well. Additional sails for some movement speed. Things you want to watch out for though are extra ballistas. Attack ships get additional ballistas on their ships so they can do a lot of additional damage. So that'll give the Hulk a ballista. It's pretty nasty. Warships can get chaser cannons. You can get long guns for increased damage of cannons, which won't affect attack ships, of course, because they don't have them. They have ballistas and arrows. There we go, so Hulk on Hulk coming out with a third Hulk is going to need a few more houses as Hera before he gets housed. Meanwhile, on the other side, GiveUAnxiety only has 1 Hulk so far, but is researching the speed upgrade. Hera is lacking the upgrades, but definitely has the ships there and ready, and they are going to be hidden by some algae and seaweed. I don't know how that works, but it does. This is the stealth zone on the naval map. Perhaps it should have some fog around it or something. Thick foggy regions. I think there's supposed to be fog there, but it's just not quite potent enough to help with readability. I ain't complaining, but GiveUAnxiety's just rushed up to the Castle Age, not even bothering to push out too far. We've gone for the Guildhall Economic Landmark for additional trading. And the more resources stored, the faster they are generated. Oof. You can just deposit stuff in there. Oh, so that's just like a cyclical generation. But here we go. A little bit of a fight here. Hera coming in with his hulks. Absolutely slaughtering fishing ships. And GiveUAnxiety can only sit surrounded by the fishing ships. Looks like they're getting healed by it, actually. That speed upgrade isn't doing a whole lot. Demolition ship's going to be coming out. Can they get close enough to the hulks to do the damage? Here we go. We're going to get there. In the thick of it. They still survive, taking pretty heavy damage there, but again, down they go. Losing all of his fishing ships is GiveUAnxiety. But he keeps his, 1 for 3 hulks is pretty decent. I mean, he shouldn't have to worry too much about his food, because he can just start building more on land if he gets pushed out, but ideally you don't really want to get pushed out of the water at all. On a map like this, on naval, you win the water, that's pretty much it. You have the game. Yeah. There you go. Relationships causing Hera cause for concern. GiveUAnxiety here being a bit aggressive with this arrow ship. Doesn't want to push out too far because he will come into unfavourable trades, and there you go. Gets ganged up on 2-on-1. Got a sneaky demo ship over here. Gonna get spotted by a scout. Don't want to let the scout do damage to you, but you can always come in and do a blast radius around some fishing ships. You've got to be careful though. Hera doesn't have a huge amount of fishing ships, to be perfectly honest. And that's why you don't want to send them near arrow ships. 2 hits and they're down, pretty much. Hera though coming out with 4 hulks now. GiveUAnxiety struggling for wood and therefore won't be building them fast enough. In all honesty. Needs 300 wood per hulk. And we've now got 4-on-1. Pretty decisive fleet, this one. GiveUAnxiety has nowhere to run. The fishing ships that were assisting it now down. And you just cannot build things fast enough. More hulks coming out, but again, it's just not fast enough. Increases the armor of military ships. Is it too little too late? I suspect it is. It's not even close to being researched yet, and again, you got to get more ship counts. We've got a couple of hulks that will come out after the armored hull research technology is finished, but could potentially lose a dock here before it gets out. It doesn't get focused down, so it will survive. It'll be very, very close. Oh, there we go. That hulk armor coming out at just the right time, but reinforcements from Hera. And you can see his build there. Basically nothing on food, everything on wood and gold. 25 and 22 to 24 and 19 respectively. GiveUAnxiety hasn't even bothered with food at this point. He's got plenty. Rushing up to the castle age, possibly not the best of ideas. And the demo ships now. I mean, they have no right getting that close, let's be honest. But it really is over. Hera has won the water. And with this coastline is easily blockadable. You just have to snipe Vils. Kill off a dock, reduce the demolition ships, micro your units away from them, split them up a little bit, kind of like banelings to marines. Down go the docks, they'll focus them down. And villagers coming away from resources to repair the dock. Again, meanwhile, you're not building the ships you need. Meanwhile, Hera is just building more and more arrow ships, and that is how you build naval momentum. Not a lot you can do about that, really. And there's the game. Well played. Well played. Well, folks, hope you enjoyed this game. Found it educational. I'm sort of trying to learn a bit more about the naval game myself. But you could even say, I'm navel gazing. Oh. But meanwhile, please leave any feedback and thoughts in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed it. Do all the YouTubey stuff with likes and dislikes and comments and sharing and all that jazz. It really helps me out with all that engagement. But until next time, folks, I'm going to start casting some big team games now, I think. 2v2s and onwards. So tune in for those. I'll see you next time for just that sort of content. I've been Marshall. Bye for now.